Okay, so I'm having technical difficulties. How many of you have technical difficulties? I don't want to go live because it would just take too long. We'd be sitting here for the next 3 hours. Maybe one day soon I'll go live and you can all chime in. Let me know when's a good time to go live. And, I'm in Washington, so I am Pacific Standard Time. So it'd be 3 hours earlier for me. So if you wanted it noon your time on the East Coast, I'm still in my pajamas. Anyways, I was showing you some of the Lazy Susans. This is a tray I found at Goodwill. They had some taller ones. They were nesting trays, but I didn't like the tall legs. These are really short legs. So this is good for perfume, makeup, hair products, salt and pepper shaker, and napkins for on the table. The only thing is it needs little foot pads, which, as an artist who is a hoarder and has one of those craft rooms like that cartoon, I've got everything. So there's this that I've done, or that I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to paint that or make it polymer clay. Here's the tile that I painted. I always like to show and tell so you can see all your options. So this was hand painted dot mandala. I can hear the cork on the back popping off. So now I've got to figure out how to put something heavier on it so it stays. Anyways, this is a dot mandala. This one does not spin unless you put it on a spinning thing. Anyways, I wouldn't put clay on a tile for hanging purposes because it I don't think it would adhere and stay stuck to the tile unless the tile was a very rough finished before they put any kind of glaze on it. So there's that. I don't know if you all saw the table. I found this table at Goodwill from IKEA, and I did ikandclay on this. So this was done with stencils. I cut out tracing paper to make the shapes, and then I pasta makered it out, and then I started cutting all the canes, and she's got such beautiful cane work, such intricate designs. So now we're gonna do the Lazy Susan. Okay, stand by. All right, so I've got my circle centered to the best of my eyeball ability. And I'm going to roll it out because it's got pre-cut lines in it. And just so you know, the reason why I'm tipping over is because I've got this and it's just not big enough. I thought I had a bigger one somewhere around here, and I'm not able. Here, this one's bigger. So these little dish rags are really good for putting it on your table so they don't slide and they don't scratch your tabletop or anything like that. Like I said, I don't know if the lines will show up. Oh, I do have a pinprick right in the middle, so let me take a very fine tool and we'll just see if that's the middle. Oh, that looks pretty good. That is the middle. So that's good. I didn't realize this will work. You can cut out all kinds of circles to try and help you. Those plastic, really flimsy cutting boards, those ones have gotten cut up into all kinds of shapes throughout the years. So now that I have my circle and I have some lines coming off here, now I got to figure out for a centerpiece. So do I want to go brown? Brown would be pretty, but that's like not big enough for me. I want to go way bigger. I mean, I really love this piece. I don't know if I have any more of it, and I can look, and I will look. Just bear with me. All right, so being the ikandclay hoarder that I am, let's see if I have anything. I do have this turquoise. I do have a lot of the peacock. It's a little old, but it still slices fine on my Lucy clay slicer, which comes in very handy. And I do have a lot of that. It's a pretty big circle. I could put these on the outside and then work my way inside also. This one would go nice with it also. It's got some blues in it, and it's got no purples in it, but the yellows. I mean, that's got no purples in it either. Let's see. Here's her elephant cane that I won on the Game of Canes, coming in 3rd place. That was a very fun time of the year. This is really pretty. I could put this into a square. Let me see some of that purple. So I'm just going to flatten out a little bit of purple that I have. So, oh, see, that would look really nice if I cut 4 of them and then cut it out with a circle. That would be really pretty. I think I'm going to do that for my centerpiece. Now I just got to find leaves that go with it. I think I might use these leaves to make it like a sunburst. And I've got tiny ones in there. And if anybody is interested in the peacock eyes, let me know. Yeah, that looks good. So that's on the outside, or the inside. That'll be my inside flower. That should be fairly easy enough to place. Let's look in the other tray. Oh, there's all my dragon stuff, all the reds. And I do not have them color separated just because ADHD does not allow me to color coordinate it. Here's some smaller peacock leaves. I don't know how many. I have one right here. And this has got, oh, I've got 2 of them. Oh, I've got a very tiny one, and then I've got a medium one. Don't know if I have more of those. I have more small ones wrapped up with that big circle one. I'll take that out too. Decisions. I mean, this one's handmade by me. It doesn't look anything like ikandclay canes, but then again, that one is old, and I have not tried making another cane just because I know that I don't have the patience for anything like that. This might be kind of interesting. The blue and the red for a circle inside the circle, or circle outside of the flower arrangements. That's pretty. I've got 2 of them, so I'll pull them out. I do have these beautiful blue leaves, so I'll pull those out. I don't want that one. So let me look to see what kind of matches around here. So this kind of matches around there. Ooh, that's interesting. Very interesting. And I like to trim my paper so I can see it better. When I get them, I usually trim them up so that I can see better. Oh, my scissors that dull. Anyways, that one's really pretty. That kind of goes with that. the red tones. That'll look nice on the purple too, though. Very nice. So we'll start with these ones, and then I'll look through my collection of already prepared slices and see what else I can't find. Okay, so like this is my work on this side, and this is Ivy's work on this side. So that would be a pretty flower. What happened to that purple? That would be pretty because the turquoise and purple go together just so sweetly. So whenever I have leftovers from a project, I put them in a piece of plastic. And I found these little plastic bags. They don't Ziploc, so they were just slide in plastic bags, and I cut the bottoms off, and then I trimmed up the one side, and then you can open it up and use it that way. So I always save my leftover canes. And like, for instance, very old canes. These pumpkins are probably, oh, I don't know, 10 years old or more. Same with the dragon eyes and the eyeballs. Just amazing how long you can make it last. Anyways, I always save, so now I'm gonna look. These would be kind of cool, but I don't know how many I have, so I'll pull it out because I do like them. I do have some yellow leaves here. Don't know how many other yellow leaves I have. Here's red. That would stand out. Those could be to make, you know, go around a circle. I do have some already cooked slices, but oh, I have already cooked slices. Oh, see, these were together at one point, and I cut them in half for the edge so that they could go around on obviously a flat surface. Anyway, so I'm gonna look around. See, these, I don't have any more of these, and this is an older cane. That would have been really pretty. This one was one of my favorites also. Anyways, I'm gonna look and see what I can't find and pull some stuff together and stand by. Okay, so I found some more peacock leaves, and these red leaves are gonna look cool. I don't know about these tiger looking stripe ones. I could save those for a different project. I did find a bunch of rectangles. Oh, see how good they look on the purple already. Very brilliant. So I might even have enough of these to go around the edge. We'll see. Here's something I made earlier. That might be interesting. So I have these. This is going to be my go-to color palette. They don't have to match. They don't have to match in size or shape. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. If you want to go look at my YouTube channel, I can include that in a comment, only because I don't know what it is right now. It's been a while since I've been on there and posted a tutorial. Anyway, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to slice, and I bought these little itty bitty cutting boards. And I'm just going to put all my slices on these after I clean them up, and we'll go from there. So I don't know what you can see. I've got 3 canes lined up, and if, oh, don't want to kick the dog, he's under my desk. If the Lucy Clay people are watching, you guys need a handle for the crank. So I just crank it half, and it cuts it fine. And depending on how thick you want it, you can go 1/4 or, oh, don't want to mess, oh, I already messed up one. Now I'll have stripes. I usually go 1/2. It's good for me. Get a lot of slices out of one. Sometimes you need to go a little thicker, so you can go 1 rotation, or you can go 2 rotations. Now I just messed it up, didn't I? Okay, so I'm going to stop, and I'm going to put all of these pretty little slices on my cutting boards. Just so you can see this, sometimes the cane slices stick together, and it's nice to have a pointy tool to separate them. Sometimes if you just drop them from above, they come unstuck. This is the satisfying part of it. And the end result is always satisfying. But like these 2 slices are really close together, so I will take my tool, or you can take a sharp knife like the scalpel and just kind of run it back and forth gently, separate them and pull them apart, because this one is really thin and this one is a tad thicker than that one. That one's already separated. And then I just line them up nice and pretty so that I can work with them, and I can fit the most of them on my board here, my cutting board. I do not reshape the majority of them. If they're really bad, I will, if they get really distorted when I cut them, I will reshape them. But for the most part, I just go with the shape that they've cut. Sometimes if a circle comes out smushed, like these ones came out a little smushed. Oh, there goes my, it's just because I have such dry skin, and the glove helps keep moisture. Anyways, I'll take this and pull it out a little bit to make it more round compared to not so round. I hope you can see that, because it's really hard to look up at the camera. Anyways, keep going. All right, so I'm just finishing pinching out the flat spot on the circles. I think this is going to make a nice ring around everything. I came up with one last slab that is not fully, sorry, don't know where the camera is, the lens, is not very even, so that's going to get cooked. So I've got a sample of the cane, and so that I can show Ivy later, make more of these, yada yada. And I usually take small little tiles and I put them on there, press them down. Like here's half a sample. If I can roll it off my finger. Here's I have the one that I cut with its cut piece right behind it, but it's okay. Take that off. The rest is scrap. Oh, this one has something on it, embedded in it. Anyways, so then I cook these along with everything else. And then I've got hard samples of the canes, because, I don't know, it's handy. I can go back through the archives and look. Someday I'll show you. Because there's a flat spot, I'll just take and pinch and pull. Just a smidgen. Pinch, pull. Pinch, pull. Pinch here, pull there. And it comes out pretty good. I'm really happy with, you know, the way it maneuvers. Sometimes the canes are a little old, like the peacock feathers are a little old, so they were a little hard. I didn't pinch them. I just left them the way they are. But some of the thinner slices were too thin and they kind of stuck to the previous slice. But, you know, what are you going to do? Buy more. So now I gotta make room for these last ones here. Hopefully I won't need more than this, but you never know. I did not make a count. I do not have a template. I do not have a design in mind. I just have a color scheme in mind. I don't know if these are going to get those on them, or they're just going to go around in a circle, and then these little amoebas in here have lines. So am I going to have the lines going in the same direction around the circle, or am I just going to do them random? I mean, which I probably will most likely just do random. Trying to match it up, sometimes the ADHD brain is like, whatever, just get on with business. Oh, see how fragile it is. So I'll take this one and I'll place it back together, and then I'll push it harder. Then I'll take my blade and put it on the table. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to take 4 of these. Place them together. Since they are probably smushed, I should place them in the correct direction. And then what I like to do so that they all adhere to each other is I like to burnish them down. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. I could just take the cookie cutter and center it. And you can't, and you're looking at my back of my head because I'm right over it. Not really. Anyways. Or I could, sorry about the light reflection. It'll be better when the clay is here. Or I could take a piece of your deli wrap plastic, and I haven't done this probably in a while, and I could bevel the edges, which is kind of cool, to be honest. Makes it a lot smoother. Would make it less easier to pluck off with a fingernail. Would make it less easy to break off if you were to put something on it and slide it. If I don't resinate it, resin is so messy, and I've got things I have to resin, and I'm not looking forward to it. So I'm going to try and bevel a lot of the pieces that I do like this. Now I could have done that with these, but I'm not trimming any of those up. But the centerpiece I will do that with. I could go for a bigger circle too. I mean, it is pretty big. Start off bigger, then I can maybe get more designs in there. Maybe. We'll just put 2 more here. And then I'll put another 3 here. I mean, just the pattern alone, just woof, beautiful, beautiful. See, this piece has a very, very, very thin slice attached to it. But I don't want it any taller, so that's why I'm going to try and peel it off. To the best of my ability. We'll just put that piece right in there. Oh, it doesn't match that side. We want it to match up a little bit, and I think why is because I was burnishing it. So let me just push it over a little bit. That matches up a lot better. Scrap. Scrap. So it's funny because a lot of the tools, some of the tools and things I've had for years, like these trays. There was a place called the Creation Station in Linwood, Washington, and they used to get overstock medical supplies, all kinds of things that they would bring in classrooms of children to create things. So they had plastic tubes and connectors and they had trays. So I've had these trays probably for, well, he's 23 right now, so probably, 18 years. And they just work great to collect the scrap clay. They're not big, they're not bulky, they're flat, they hold a lot. That looks good. So now I'm going to go with a bigger cutter. See how big that one is. Yeah, let's see, I don't know about that one. Let me get my circle cutters out. All kinds of cutters. Cutters. Who's got the cutters? Oh, hoarder. Craft person has cutters. So I don't want to go this big because that will take up way too much space. But this is not such a bad space. That's not such a bad... It's not... The word isn't space. It's not so bad to start off with. Looks pretty circle. Now I just got to center it. Got to take my glasses off because they're just getting in the way. And I guess it doesn't necessarily need to be centered, but it would be nice. Glad my phone is at an angle and you can't see my gray hair. Oh, forgot what I was doing. Sheesh kabobby wobbies. That looks good. So I've got these 4 little diamonds in there. And then I'll just press this out and turn it. And that piece is beveled. Then I will take my blade and pull up this stuff away from it. Or just do this. And now it's probably a little misshapen. Actually, one of the beveled edges didn't come out very well. There's this piece right there. So I can save this as a sample, or I can scrap, which I'll just save the big one. Or I could, if I wanted to, incorporate these later. If I need them, you can always cut them in half or cut off part of a design and use it that way too. Or you could get out your little circle cutters like this one, a Kemper cutter, and you could cut out just that part of the design. I don't know if that's in focus or not. And there's another whole design element, if that works for you. Depends on how big you want to go and how small you want to go. Maybe you want to start off with coaster size first, which is great. So I will use this as my starter disc. Now, do I want to put the leaves around it, the peacock leaves? How is that going to look? to go underneath. Make it look like a sunshine burst. That would be really pretty. So I could do that. And I think I'm going to. Lo and behold, this is how your design comes about. So I'm just going to try and be as clockworthy as possible. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. This is how you do the dot work also. Then we're going to go 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock, or should I say 7:30? They're the halfway points in between. I mean, it looks really cool from this side, and I know it's going to look really cool from the other side. And then, you know, it all boils down to, do I want to put these in there now? Or do I want to put them around in a circle? Anyways, I'm going to continue putting these on because I really like the sunburst effect of this flower. I think all right, that one's really thin. Oh, here's 2 of them stuck together. I don't think they're going to come apart. As I'm smooshing them together, they're not coming apart. So this one will be this way because I want it upside down. Sometimes they stick to your finger really well. And there's that. And now what I'll do is take the tissue paper and just rub so these stick together. Now comes the hard part, trying to get it in the center of everything. Oh, that's beautiful this way. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Isn't that gorgeous? Just beautiful. So now I'm going to try and get it in the center of my tile. That is a quest. So I can try and use the paper to help me maneuver it, but we know once the petals start touching, it's going to be over. See? It slides right off. So, this is, like I said, this is the part I hate the most. I'm going to put this down, and I am going to take, if I have a small circle, I had a small one right here. See if I can't center this in there. Wow, first time. Bam! And I'm going to poke a hole in the middle. I can see the middle on this side. See, they had all kinds of tools. Even like chicken skewers help. I mean, who needs a pointy tool? I mean, you can make that pointy just by sharpening it on a emery board if you wanted to. Here, the chicken skewers. These work great for making beads, bead holes. So I'm going to take this off. No, I gotta do it. Gotta do it. So I will take this sharp little tool, put it in the hole. Try not to tear it too much. And put it in my hole. There. Well, that didn't work out so well, but I'm not extremely happy with it. Looks like it's pretty centered. Might be a little bit more that way than this way. In the long run, like I said, it's really hard to get that kind of stuff centered. I don't even know if I can pick it back up carefully enough without tearing it. Try and eyeball it, and I just tore it. Oh, see? I'm telling you, it's really difficult to put the center. So I'm just going to leave it right here. See if I can't get this one back in there. Poof, done. I can't do it anymore. This one needs to be pushed there. And done. I mean, the centerpiece is the hardest part. I could start from the outside and go inside and make sure that there's a spot for me to maneuver. Sometimes just, like I said, I wanted to go bigger with this, but I should have gone smaller. So now I'm just going to work on it and make a couple rows of circles with these. So I need to determine where the circle is. Okay, so I tried drawing some lines with a chiropractor. Chiropractor? Protractor. It's not a protractor, it's a compass. But this digs right into the center, and then it starts moving. Unless I had, you know, a cushy background to really smash it into where it's not going to move, it moves. So I've got this little indentation here, which is where this little circle might come in handy. So I drew a circle around here and a circle around here and then another circle and then an outer circle. Now my outer circle is a little off, but you know, with the polymer clay, the sizes are not as exact as like with the dot tools. So, you know, with a dot tool, I use stylus pencils. I'm going to sneeze. And, oh, excuse me. Any kind of flat tool that is perfect, gives me a perfect dot every time for the most part. So with that being said, I'm just going to possibly put that in there. I could put something else in there. I guess we'll see until the end. You know, one of these might be kind of interesting to tie it all together. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, we'll just leave him there for now. And now I'm going to start with these. So I can put them opposite of a leaf to make sure that I can at least get them. See, because the problem is these circles are not big enough for this wide of a circle. If I was to bring them closer on the tips of the green leaves, they are closer together. Normally I don't put anything in between, but I could take snakes and roll the snakes and make them come out that way. You know, and then it doesn't look very even to me for some reason. My eye, I've got a good eye, but anyways, we're just going to go with this. So I take my tool and I'll put it right here so that actually it's touching the more of these. See, there's less space here than there is here. maybe this one is not centered above that green leaf better, so I can pick it up and maneuver it a little bit more to equal the space out. So now I'm just going to take, and as the amoeba's in the inside, nah, no direction, not going to do it. I can gently place these down before I, adhere them nicely to the clay. Oh, now I got a runny nose. I'm having my kitchen floors redone, so there is a lot of dust flying around. But I am not anywhere near the kitchen, but still there's a lot of dust. Anyways, back to this. And they're almost, because the line that I drew is right here. I don't know if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in. So we're just going to keep going and try and space them out as best we can as I pull them off my tray here. This one's still got a little flat spot. Tuck, pinch and pull ever so gently. See, these ones are going to be a little closer than the rest of them. But that's, what makes art art, and what makes everything I make slightly unbalanced. And it could be also, and I don't know, sometimes, let me show you. Sometimes, like this leaf is going that way. So let's see what happens. So I tuck my tool underneath and I rock it ever so gently so to not tear the leaf that's already pushed down into the clay. And I push it a little more directional that way. And did that work? It did. So now I've got a little more even space. Just little tips and tricks. I'm not one of the queen bees like out there, but I am pretty good at making the mandala with ikandclay canes, because they are just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. See, a little close here, a little further away there. Let's see if we can't fix that one. It's the in the long haul, the only one that's going to notice that is you. Like me, I am very critical of my work. Oh, that's a little better. And even this circle can be moved over a little bit more. There. Okay, I'm like really extremely happy with that. It's going down. It's going down, man. It's going down. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to work on a few more elements by myself, as you should too. And, when I get out to here, I'll come back. Thanks. Happy claying.